Alright, I'm making this particular video on, I'm going to keep this short. I'm making this particular video on February 8th, 2014. I am a target, victim, and activist concerned in the crimes of what is known as gang stalking, which can also be termed as organized stalking. Now, I'm going to include a couple things in this particular video really fast. As soon as I can get out my phone, so I can show you the date and time. As you can see, it's 9:40 a.m. on February 9th, 2014, and I'm going to use this phone to state the date and time by using the voice command in the tools menu.
Say a command. February 9th, Sunday, 9:40 a.m. Say a command.
Now, I am predicting that they're going to bring the property owners out here to evict me. Even before I get a chance to, well, let's see if it happens before I get a chance to go down to the San Diego Police Department headquarters to report that I was assaulted on a sidewalk that is directly close to GILL ×2. Now, as a result of me being a target, victim, and activist concerned in the criminal expeditions of what is known as organized stalking, which can also be termed as gang stalking, one of their main methods is to create events in order to make it appear that the police have a legitimate reason to know where you're living at. That's right. So they can make police reports about your living status, and then wait, and then, see, when you're targeted gang stalking, the gang stalking never stops. You'll be targeted from, this is the 4th hiking area I've been gang stalked to. And the police will not make one police report pertaining to the fact that I'm being gang stalked, even though I can prove it up and down the road. Even though gang stalking was even caught being done around me inside the San Diego Police Department headquarters. I want you to listen to this event. This is the audio of an event that took place around me, towards me, on a sidewalk on Thanksgiving Day, 2013, which is not even 3 months ago. 2.5 months ago it happened. As these guys are harassing me, do you hear them say gang stalk, gang stalking, and gang stalking? I'm going to F you up. Alright, now why am I telling you all this? This is a video prediction, and what I'm predicting right now is that the guy who assaulted, this occurred on Thanksgiving Day. Now, there were 2 guys on this Thanksgiving Day event. One of them was seen by me. One of them has harassed me on anywhere between 8 and 11 prior occasions from this Thanksgiving event. Pertaining to, there's 2 guys in a Thanksgiving event. One of the 2 guys has harassed me on anywhere between 8 and 11 separate occasions prior to the Thanksgiving event. The guy who assaulted me on the same sidewalk on January 30th, 2014 was seen by me talking to that guy from the Thanksgiving event on 2 separate occasions prior to him assaulting me. That's right. And he was seen by me on 2 other occasions walking down the street gaslighting me with gang stalking physical gestures. Go to YouTube and type in "Learning Disabled Woman Catches Gang Stalker Admitting Sent to Harass." Read comments. That's me catching 3 teenagers admitting they were put on a bus, the bus route that I was assaulted on, to engage in gang stalking physical gestures. That's right. Now, when you look at that YouTube video, make sure you look at everything that's in the description of it, because it shows me, there's another video in the description of that YouTube video that was made 2 months before I caught those 3 teenagers admitting to what they admitted to. Shows me at a bus stop stating what I was putting up with even at universities. physical gestures. And then I caught those 3 teenagers admitting on a bus that they were put on the bus to engage in these physical gestures towards me. So that shows that I was already telling the truth about how I was putting up with these physical gestures on university campuses, USD and SDSU. That's right, hold on. Now I was also making blogs and YouTube videos about physical gestures being utilized around me on the buses as well, before I caught those 3 teenagers admitting to what they admitted to. Now, what could happen on Friday, the 5th of February, which was just a few days ago? I went to the North University San Diego Public Library and attempted to make a San Diego Police Department online police report about being assaulted. And you can't do that because it only gives you so many options to make complaints about, threatening phone calls, property being stolen, shit like that. So I sent an email to myself stating I had been assaulted on January 30th, 2014 by a guy in a sidewalk. Now that same guy appeared on the same sidewalk, or on the same road that the sidewalk was off of, on my way to the library. And he acted like he was going to cross the street to assault me again, because he had his backpack on. He took it off his backpack, put it on one arm, and then took out a metal thermos. And then took out a metal thermos and started to walk across the street. So I made a statement in a hidden running tape recorder that was attached to my undergarments on my chest. I said, he's crossing the street right now, and he heard me say it, so he backtracked. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is go down to the San Diego Police Department headquarters either Monday, Tuesday, and or Wednesday. Today's Sunday, which means Monday's tomorrow, Tuesday's the next day, and Wednesday's the day after Tuesday. And we're going to see if the property owner comes out here before I get a chance to do it. Now you might think to yourself, well, what are you trying to say? That the property owner is going to be notified that you're going to go down to the San Diego Police Department headquarters, so they're going to bring them out here to evict me from here before I do it? Well, let me just give you a case in point. Go to YouTube right now and type in cell phone hacking and gang stalking. All you got to do is type in cell phone hacking and gang stalking. That's all you got to do is do that. And cell phone hacking and stalking, and cell phone hacking and gang stalking, and then cell phone hacking and tracking and stalking. They can literally hack, and it's all over the internet. When you Google it as well, you'll see targeted individuals talking about their cell phones being hacked. Now, when you hack into a cell phone, and you can use the cell phone even when it's off as a microphone, okay, as a camera, and as a GPS locator, a tracker. Just Google it. In fact, if you type in cell phone hacking and stalking, you'll see 2 women being covered on a morning show, which is, like a morning show. You'll see these 2 women talk about how her daughters and then her husband's cell phones were hacked, and about how the individuals who hacked them, the ones who did it, the perpetrators, literally sent the victims, the ones who had their cell phones hacked, messages about what the perpetrators were able to observe as a result of the victims' cell phones being hacked. They literally sent them electronic messages. They typed in electronic messages and electronic voice messages they left on their voicemail, regurgitating what was observed as by the target's cell phone being hacked. Okay, so in other words, they were stating in the morning show that as a result of the perpetrators hacking into that family's cell phone, that they were able to see what they were doing in their home. And then they sent voice messages and text messages to state what was seen as a result of the perpetrators hacking into the camera on the phone and hacking into what's being heard. That's a gang stalking method. To get around a targeted individual and to regurgitate what is viewed in the privacy of their own home. And if you don't believe me, go to Google. Literally, if you don't believe me, go to Google right now and type in the direct conversation method and gang stalking. And notice how the direct conversation method is also used to repeat things around the target, using strangers to do it, about things the target did in the privacy of their own home. Where they place people that the target does not know around the target, where the target's at, out and about in the community, and they had those people that are placed around the target to regurgitate things that the target did in the privacy of their own home, or the things they did on the computer, or the things that they did on their phone. So right now I'm talking to you as this phone is in my physical presence, which means they can literally even hear what I'm saying by using the speaker as a microphone. They then ascertain the information and think to themselves, okay, this is what she plans on doing. Maybe we should do this before she does it. And then if I say, well, look, they hacked into my cell phone, the syndicated cops will say, you're one crazy lady. That's right. That's right. Now, cell phone hacking and gang stalking is all over the friggin' internet. That's a method of organized stalking and gang stalking. I want you to listen to this audio right here. This is the audio of a YouTube video that you can go and watch right now by typing in gang stalking bullying on steroids. That's a news broadcast, a YouTube video of a news broadcast of a gang stalking target being covered on the news. This is the audio of that video. I want you to pay attention to how the police in this news broadcast state that gang stalking's been going on forever. Listen to how they're harassing this guy along all of his routes, even at his own home, even using his neighbors. And listen to how the police officer says that gang stalking's even reached out into the cyber world.
This story on our website, kcba.com. Tonight, police call it bullying on steroids. We're talking about gang stalking, but it actually has nothing to do with the gangs that you first think of. Southern Coast News reporter Candace Lynn learned more about the trend and how it's getting more dangerous because of the internet. It makes me so afraid.
Lawrence Gazino claims his neighbors are gang stalking him because he plays loud music late at night and is outspoken. He said for the last year and a half he's been systematically followed by a group of people. At one point he said they climbed on his roof to harass him. Gazino said he's developed a paranoia that's devastated his relationships with friends and, worst of all, family.
That's the worst part of it. If it was me, I would take action.
Santa Cruz Police Lieutenant Larry Richards said police are becoming more aware of gang stalking because of cyberbullying. But what is gang stalking? Basically, the victims could be driving their car or talking on their phones or walking the streets when a group of people try to systematically terrorize them. Richards said gang stalking is nothing new, but new technology is making it more common.
Gang stalking itself, they have elevated themselves to technology. So this is something that's been going on before the age of Facebook, Twitter, those other social websites. They just now have gone into those areas.
Gazino said he's proof that the problem isn't just online and that it can hit too close to home, a home he plans on leaving because of gang stalking.
I want to be able to go to the tennis courts and play tennis or play ping pong without people following us everywhere. It's just nerve-wracking.
I'm Candace Wen in Salinas, your Central Coast News.
If found guilty of gang stalking, the person may face criminal, conspiracy, and stalking charges, all of which are felony charges in California.
All right, now let me just illustrate something to you here. What I'm going to illustrate to you something here is I want you to listen to this. This Thanksgiving event that you're about ready to hear, two guys, they're saying gang stalk together, then one says gang stalking, and then that same one says gang and stalking, I'm going to F you up. Now I want you to listen to this point I'm trying to make right here, because it's going to, you just heard that police officer, that news broadcaster say that if found guilty of gang stalking, you can be charged with conspiracy, stalking, and other felony charges. Now what is conspiracy when it comes to gang stalking? Well, every crime they do it stems from conspiracy because they plot to do what they do before they do it. And I'm about ready to literally prove it to you right now. Let me just adjust this camera. So one of the ways that I'm going to prove it to you right now is that this Thanksgiving event that you're about ready to hear again was caught on a running recording tape recorder as it was transpiring. Because I had a running recording tape recorder on me recording. I left the plaza from going, I went shopping, then I went and seen a movie, and then got on my bike and left the plaza where I saw the movie at, and then rode the bike down a road, and then eventually got on the sidewalk. The sidewalk is right off the road. They intentionally appeared along my routes walking out of the parking lot of the condominiums that were right next to the sidewalk, which obstructed my ability to continue to ride my bike. And as they walked out of the driveway and got on the sidewalk, as I was coming towards them, they went like this. Okay? And then they said something, so I go, "What'd you say, bitch?" Like that. Now, one of them has harassed men anywhere between 8 and 11 separate occasions, and they were already obstructing my ability to continue to ride my bike, so that's why I bothered and said anything to them. Okay? So then I had to get off my bike, or I would have collided in with them. And when you hear these guys, now, well, listen to this. The whole entire event was caught on a tape recorder that was attached to a pouch on my bra. Excuse my directness, but that's where it was attached at. The microphone was right at the top. Okay, right underneath the collar of the shirt, which meant the tape recorder caught the whole entire event from the beginning to the end, and where I went to after I left their physical presence. Now, that will eventually matter, but I want you to listen to this. One of the guys that played a role in this event has harassed me on anywhere between 8 and 11 separate occasions. But what's the point I'm also trying to make here outside of proving to you that they said gang stalking, and gang of stalking, I'm going to F you up. When I'm going to play this audio to you again, what I want you to listen to is how they both say gang stalk together at the same exact time. Now remember this. The event was caught on a tape recorder. The whole entire event was caught on a tape recorder, which means that it shows me getting on the bike from the plaza, riding the bike up until the point that they appeared on the scene, and then the tape recorder captured the entire event. At no time do you hear on the audio file of this event, do you hear one of them say, okay, now it's the time. Okay, say it now. Okay, right now. In other words, right before they say gang stalk together at the same exact identical time, you do not hear either one of them give the other ones any verbal instructions to do it. Think about it. Say you're standing right now, sitting right now, standing right now in the physical presence of your friend or your family member. And you say to yourself, I'm going to say gang stalk, and then the person that's sitting next to you, how much of a coincidence do you think that it would be if that person, when you go to say gang stalk right now, says gang stalk with you? The only way that that could happen is that if that person is watching this video you're watching right now of me saying it. In other words, what would be the likelihood of two people knowing when to say gang stalk together at the same exact time? Now, what did I notice one of them doing before they both did it? The one that has harassed me on anywhere between 8 and 11 separate occasions, he put his hands to his face, and then they both said gang stalk. That's right. Physical gestures and signaling is one of the methods of gang stalking, where they will signal one person to do to get another person to do a thing, or to get that person to do the same thing that person has been signaled to do at the same time. That shows conspiracy to harass. And in order for that to be done, they had to know who I was to get around me and say it, because I was already exposing all over the internet that they were getting around me and saying gang stalk. Which meant that the only way that these people out of the blue could get around me and do this, okay, was they had to know that they were put there. Because what's the likelihood of just two complete strangers walking up to me and saying gang stalk together, gang stalking, and then gang of stalking, I'm going to F you up? What's the likelihood of that occurring? Now I want you to listen to this. And the one who has harassed me on anywhere between 8 and 11 separate occasions has harassed me with gang stalking physical gestures. As I'm walking up and down the road, and at Rouse, and at GILL ×2, I'm a woman, not a man, HA location. Now, the person who assaulted me on January 30th, 2014 was seen by me talking to this one punk I'm talking about that has harassed me between 8 and 11 separate occasions. That guy who assaulted me on January 30th, 2014 was seen by me on 4 separate occasions before the assault took place. 2 of those 4 separate occasions talking to these guys, to one of these guys. And then the other 2 occasions, he gaslighted me with the same physical gestures as he walked by me. Once at Rouse, and once on the road across the street from the sidewalk. That's right. Now, when I go to make this police report down at the police department, I'm going to show them this Thanksgiving audio file. Now, I want you to listen to this. I know for a fact that you, right now, can undisputably hear them say gang stalk together, then one says gang stalking, and then that same one says gang of stalking, I'm going to F you up. All you got to do is clearly be attentive in reference to listening for it, and you'll clearly be able to hear it. Now what I'm going to do is Friday, which was 2 days ago, I went to the North University San Diego Public Library, and on my way to that library, the guy who assaulted me on January 30th, 2014 appeared along my path again. And he was intentionally, physically acting like he was going to cross the street again to probably assault me again. He had his backpack on his back, took it off his back, and then just held it by one shoulder, one shoulder, and then he took out a metal thermos, held it in his hand, and started walking across the street towards me. When I was noticing this happening visually, I made a statement in my tape recorder. I bent over my head and said, he's crossing the street now. He heard me say that, and so then he turned around and recrossed the street. So then I yelled to him, "Hey, you're not so confident now, are you, bum?" Like that. Now, then I went to the North University San Diego Public Library, and I looked up the San Diego Police Department headquarters address again, and I went to go file an online complaint about being assaulted. That's right. And there was no features on the online complaint form for me to report that I was assaulted, because the only features they offer are like in case you're getting harassing phone calls, or somebody stole something that's worth over, I don't know, like there were 4 little buttons that you can push pertaining to 4 different types of crimes. They weren't offering you a dialogue box for you to type in what happened to you pertaining to any other type of crime. They weren't giving you no other options, is what I'm saying. So I wrote down their address while I'm literally being gaslighted by 2 people in the North University San Diego Public Library. That's right. Now, so they know that I plan on going down to the San Diego Police Department headquarters. Cyber surveillance is all over the internet in reference to that being a method of gang stalking. It's all over the internet. So listen to this. We're going to see if any event transpires here in reference to the police coming here, because they said that somebody called and because they either heard or saw me. We're going to see if any event transpires here on any date, whether it's before or after I go down to the San Diego Police Department headquarters to report this assault. And when I do it, I'm going to play them this audio file. We're going to see if miraculously all of a sudden the phone don't work. Is cell phone hacking a method of gang stalking? Well, I think I've already talked about it. And then if it does work and there's no problems there, I'm going to play in the audio file, and they'll say, "Well, I can't clearly hear them saying that. What, are you hearing things?" Because that they cannot acknowledge that I'm factually being gang stalked. And why is that? Because I got some 2006 emails that I made when I was out here in San Diego between 1 and 38 days in 2006, describing that I was being stalked and describing certain things that were happening to me. And those things that I described are gang stalking methods that are all over the internet. And it also describes a Point Loma library staff employee and security guard playing a role in it. That means they can be sued, and it will also prove that I was stalked to San Diego in 2006 from another state. It'll also bring alive every single claim that I've made since I started writing blogs. I came back to San Diego for the first time since 2006 on August 8, 2011, and I've been gang stalked along every single one of my routes every single day, non-stop. I've requested on anywhere between 17 and 21 separate occasions if I can make a police report. Told no. Hang on a second. I was told no, that I can't. So, if they make a police report stating that they are acknowledging I'm being gang stalked, then that shows that I can sue everybody that played a role in it, because what these guys are doing, I was already stating was happening to me at another location. In fact, at multiple locations, people getting around me and saying gang stalk. And the police had already denied my civil rights to make a police report, which left me wide open to the continued crime. So I can not only sue now, but I would not only now then be able to sue the libraries and the universities, but I would also be able to sue the San Diego police, and it will prove the duration of this crime. So you better be darn sure that they're going to say, "Well, I can't clearly hear them say that. It doesn't sound like to me like they're saying gang stalk. That don't make no sense. Are you crazy?" Yeah, baby, because that's what they do. They intentionally deny that they're aware of what gang stalking is, and they intentionally deny that it's happening to you. Hang on. And that's done to protect their ass pertaining to how they've been involved in it. You better believe it is. So we're gonna also see, once I make the report about being assaulted, they're gonna hound me pertaining to trying to get me state about where I'm living. I'm not gonna state where I'm living because it's none of their friggin' business. Even though certain San Diego police officers do know where I'm living. I told them on the 26th. Okay, we're gonna see if those police officers are magically at the San Diego Police Department headquarters when I go down there, or we're gonna see if those police officers ever become aware through word of mouth or police report that I was assaulted on a sidewalk. That way they can come automatically here and say, well, where's the guy at? I'm going to backtrack for a minute. Basically what I'm trying to say is that those police officers might tell the new ones that I tell about the assault where I'm living at, and then that way they can come out and say, well, you got to move. You wouldn't believe the schemes that are involved in this gang stalking shit. Hang on a second. In fact, all you got to do right now is go to Google. If you went to Google right now and typed in how they cause the targeted individual to move from one place to the next place, to the next place, to the next place, you'll see that causing a targeted individual to move from place to place to place to place is one of the methods of gang stalking. Hang on. Now, I guarantee you this guy will deny that he assaulted me. And he'll probably also say that I'm crazy and that here, baby, get back. Hang on a second. Come in. Come here. Fuck. These squirrels are something else. Sorry about that. See, basically what I do is I predict what they might do before they do it. And the reason why I do that is to be able to prove the pattern of behavior that they're engaged in reference to their thinking, because all behaviors come from thoughts, even reflexatory actions like innate desires to protect yourself. These are all even subconscious thoughts. What I'm trying to tell you is this, is that what I do is I predict what they're going to do before they do it. And 99.7% of everything that I have predicted have literally come true. Go to Google right now and type in, go to YouTube and type in learning disabled woman brutally assaulted on an MTS bus. Okay? You're going to see a video picture of me being assaulted. But what's important is for you to click on the About feature to that video. As a result, the description, the text that is dedicated to that video will come up. Inside the description, you will see 2 blogs, at least. I haven't been inside that YouTube account for a while, so I forgot exactly everything that's in there. But you can look out, you'll see that 2 blogs are in the description of that YouTube video of me being assaulted. Click on both of them until you open up the right one that has an attached PDF link in it, titled Assault 11. It even states it in the blog. This is the attached PDF link right here that shows that I predicted that assault in an email 11 days before it occurred. It literally states I will either be assaulted walking, riding my bike, or on public transportation. And 11 days later, I'm brutally assaulted on public transportation, and then go to Google and type in learning disabled woman exposes how MTS assault video is altered. You can YouTube that as well. I also predicted other things that UCSD would do, USD would do, and SDSU would do, and all 3 of them did it. Literally. Literally. Now, I cannot get no proof that, I cannot get no help pertaining to the fact that this crime is factually happening to me by any uncorrupted law enforcement or officials, because it's organized crime in the system that is using the system to perpetrate these crimes, and then using the same exact system to not only continue to nullify and vilify the target of them, but the system is also used to protect them. That's right. And they will do anything and everything to make it appear that they got legitimate apparent reasons to falsify incident reports, police reports. That's right. To claim the target's delusional. To claim the target cannot take care of themselves because they're hiking but yet won't get an apartment even though they got money. This is the 4th hiking area I've been gang stalked to. Do you honestly think that they will not stalk me to a motel room or an apartment or a homeless shelter? Go to Google right now and type in homeless shelters and gang stalking. They gang stalked me to a homeless shelter in Connecticut, a homeless shelter they set me up in. That's right. gang stalked on a feverish scale at that homeless shelter, and then within a month or two of me blogging about it, another woman who was gang stalked at the same affiliated homeless shelter, because it was one group that owned multiple homeless shelters. Another woman blogged about it, had already had a blog concerning that group that owns the homeless shelters, and Norwalk was one of them, and I was at the one in Stamford. Okay, she posted a comment on one of my blogs that she was gang stalked to the same exact homeless shelter. Now, what they basically do is create homelessness of a target, and then through creative means make it appear that they got a legitimate appearing reason to know where you live, including having you assaulted. You call the police on the guy who assaulted you because you end up seeing where he went to after he assaulted you. You call the police about it. The police come out. They go to get the guy. The guy denies the assault, but yet points the finger about where you're living at. That way the police can then make it appear they got a normal appearing reason to know where you're living at, and then they make a police report about you being homeless. They evict you from your hiking area, and then, check this out, they then will say, Leslie, we got all these homeless services you can depend on. Why don't you go to them? I go to them. They dress it up to make it appear that they can help me. They get me to sign the papers, and then guess what happens? Gang stalking starts, provoking me to leave. Because who wants to be gang stalked where they're living at by people that they're physically using? At least at this tent, they're not inside my tent harassing me. Inside of a homeless shelter, they would be. Because what they would do would be using fellow clients to do it. That's right, paying them off because they're so down and out. You got to remember, homeless people that are a homeless shelter, most of them don't have jack shit. They don't have money. They don't have money for cigarettes. They don't have money for like little treats, comfort creatures. They don't even have, they could be promised with getting a job, okay, because these individuals are directly also connected to the Chamber of Commerce members. Go to Google right now and type in a gang stalking tech, everything you need to know. It's a manifesto of a manager of gang stalking crews. He flat out states that they're directly also connected to the Chamber of Commerce. That's how they're able to blacklist targets from employment. That's right. Now I gotta shut this video down. So we're gonna see on any date, if any homeless bum from this area or any other area in La Jolla is used to point the finger pertaining to where I live at, to cops and or to property owners. I don't care if it has anything to do with the assault that took place towards me or not. Any place. We're gonna see if anybody is used to point the finger to the police about me staying here. We're also gonna see how many future and past incident reports have been made by the San Diego Police Department officers about me. I am a target victim and activist concerning the crimes of gang stalking. I literally caught gang stalking being repeated around me several times inside the San Diego Police Department headquarters on July 24th, 2013. The same exact method that was been utilized along all my routes in the same exact identical way everywhere I go, every single day, non-stop. And they make it appear that they have a normal appearing reason to know where you live, so they can offer you these services, file a police report, give you a ticket for trespassing, or warn you that you're going to get one if you don't move, while filing incident reports. That's right. And then they accumulate the reports over time. Miss Williams has been homeless now for 2 years. She won't get out of it while she's claiming she's being stalked by people she don't know. Delusional. And these are the types of documentations that are used in order to attempt to, or to take syndicated probate control of the target, in order to take syndicated probate control of their monthly checks, to exploit their insurance, and exploit the target sexually in a syndicated run, organized crime group home the target is put in as a result of this illegal appearing syndicated probate control being taken of the target, that they take by claiming the target's delusional because they claim they're being stalked by people they don't know, which means that they are factually being gang stalked but lied about by the police. And they're trying to paint the picture the target's crazy, is what they're trying to do, and cannot take care of themselves because they won't get a place to live. If I got a place tomorrow, they would gang stalk me to that place. I was gang stalked to this hiking area from another one that was 30 miles away. That's right. Now I can prove I was gang stalked in that area in the same exact way I'm gang stalked in this one, because they were stupid enough to give me the evidence. The same exact identical harassment that I experienced in La Jolla, I experienced when I was living in another area 30 miles away from La Jolla. I can prove it undeniably. So where do these San Diego police officers get off at writing these police reports? Did you know that incident reports I can't get a copy of? Which means they can falsify them and wait until a huge event occurs to where multiple people blame me for it, the police arrest me, and then use their incident reports to covertly make me a ward of the state. Because you're not going to know what's happening to me as it's happening. You're not related to me. You're not a friend of mine. So how are you? What are you going to do? If my videos disappear, the only thing that you might come to the conclusion is that maybe I moved, or maybe they got a hold of me. But still, what are you going to do? I'll still be stuck in their crime. That's right. And nobody will know the difference to be able to advocate for me. Because this is what they do. They file these falsified incident reports but never allow you to see them without a subpoena. And they can, and as a result of them having custody of them, they can go back and forth and take things out, put things in, put the proper things in case I hire a lawyer. But if I don't hire a lawyer that, if I can't find a lawyer that will help me, they'll keep the negatives ones in it until they can get the syndicated probate control. That's why they don't allow you to have one unless you have a subpoena to get one. Do you see what I'm saying? It's a shell game. They're playing a shell game with the incident reports, watching what you do, what kind of help you get or don't get, and then base their decisions on if they're going to use the report in the way they lied about in it or not. All depending on how the report can get. Like if I hire a lawyer and he subpoenas these police reports, these incident reports, and they're falsified, the lawyer will be able to prove that I was being gang stalked, which will show the gross negligence of duty and the falsified police report. But since they got custody of the report, if they see I got a lawyer and the lawyer's subpoenaing them, they'll say, we'll get it to you within a week. And they'll go back and they'll change all the incident reports. But if I can't hire a lawyer, they'll keep the falsified statements in them until they can be used in conjunction with to attempt to take syndicated probate control. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. It's a shell game. They're playing with the incident reports. And they'll use anybody. Okay, so we're going to see on any date if any of these homeless bums ever point out where I live at to the police, including the one who assaulted me, who will either cannot magically be found and maybe then used again on another date against me, or we're going to see if he denies assault to me and then points out to the police where I live. That way he can get away with the assault. I gotta move. That's right. And all the while I'll know that this individual who assaulted me did assault me and did engage in gang stalking. And I'm predicting it right now. Thank you for listening and have a nice day.